What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Let's jump right in with some basketball scores from last night. The Nets beat the Pistons 118 to 112, and the Pistons lose again. They have lost 27 straight games. That is an NBA single season record, 27 losses in a row. He had 41 points and 9 rebounds in the loss, so he's actually been blown out. Kid Cunningham, I feel really bad for him. Was number one pick 2 years ago. Was pretty good as a rookie. He was hurt most of last year. Comes back this year and just putting up 30, 35, 40 points every night, it seems, and just being dragged down by just a god awful team. But Nets pick up the win, and Pistons are now 2-28 and lost 27 straight games. They have not won since October 28th. And so that was the last time we've had free wings because that promotion has not really worked out because the Pistons have not won a game in 2 months. Magic over the Wizards won 27 to 119. Franz Wagner had 28, 8, and 9. They are very good. They got a lot of young talent. They've taken a step forward this year, for sure. Bulls over the Hawks 118 to 113. A 2020 game from Andre Drummond, who turns back the clock. 24 points and 25 rebounds in the win. Pacers over the Rockets 123 to 117. 30 points and 10 assists from Halliburton. You had 30 and 16 from Sengun in the loss. You had the Grizzlies beating the Pelicans 116 to 115 in overtime. Ja had 31. Other Grizzlies have lost since Ja came back. I think they're 4-0 since Ja came back. Ja's been back for like a week and a half. He's got more wins than the Pistons have all season. And Ja's played, 4 games, and the Pistons have played 30? That's insane. Thunder beat the Timberwolves 129 to 106. 34 points and 9 assists for Shy. Yeah, the Jazz over the Spurs 130 to 118. Laurie at 31 and 12. That Spurs team is god awful. 4-25. Yikes. At one point, they had lost 17 games in a row. Trailblazers beat the Kings 130 to 113. And you had the Clippers over the Hornets 113 to 104. Hard 29 points in that one. Clippers been playing very well. They were struggling mightily once Harden came over. Well, they've seemed to gel for now. So they've been playing well. They're at 18-12 now on the year. But I want to talk about some MLB free agency stuff that happened. Well, I took the week off for the holidays. The main move was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the Japanese sensation starting pitcher, signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a 12-year deal worth $325 million. Dodgers dropped literally $1 billion on 2 players. Of course, giving Shohei Ohtani $700 million, now $325 to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And they gave Tyler Glassdown a $135 million extension after trading for him. So the Dodgers have been very busy. As a Mets fan, I was upset the Mets did not get him. That being said, apparently the Mets offered the same deal, 12 for $325. Yamamoto, he took the Dodgers. I don't think he wanted to come to New York. He wants to be a Dodger. A lot of times these Japanese players, they prefer the West Coast because it's closer to home. And when these guys come over into the States, basically, they leave their family behind. They come to a completely new country. They don't know anybody. They don't speak the language. It's tough. It's not easy. So they want to be as close to their family as they can. That's why Shohei Ohtani chose when he came over to sign with the Angels, and obviously now he's still in LA, just now with the Dodgers, and yeah, Yamamoto is now with the Dodgers. When he didn't quite work out when Yusei Kikuchi came to the Major League a few years back. That's why he chose the Seattle Mariners. That's why a lot of these guys choose to stay more on the West Coast opposed to the East Coast. Maybe possibly why Shohei Ohtani didn't really even consider them to mention the Yankees in free agency. It's probably why Yamamoto chose the Dodgers over the Mets. And I think Ohtani being there, having their star player, who obviously came from Japan, can help him with his transition. I'm sure that mattered a lot as well. So he is a Dodger. Mets still a lot of work to do. They gotta sign at least one more starting pitcher. Even the Yankees as well, another team that lost out on him, but Yamamoto to the Dodgers for an incredibly large contract, and plus he got a $50 million posting fee that the Dodgers had to pay his old team from the Japanese baseball league. So basically the Dodgers are paying $375 million for a guy who's never thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball before. That being said, I do think he will be an absolute stud. So we'll see what happens. We have some more smaller moves that happen. Michael Wacha signed with the Royals, 2 years, $32 million. If he's healthy, he's a very good starter. We've also brought Hunter Renfroe on a 1 year deal for $5.5 million, $7.5 million player option. Nice, solid middle of the order bat. Yeah, Jack Flaherty goes to Detroit, 1 year, $14 million. Didn't have a great year last year. Yeah, he's had a lot of arm problems last few years. Have kind of pretty much ruined his product. We thought he was going to be an all-star for many years, where he had that big breakout year in 2019. In between St. Louis and he finished last year in Baltimore, but Tigers are taking a shot at him. They figured if he pitches well, great. If not, it's only for 1 year. If nothing else, he's a trade chip. San Diego Padres signed Yuki Matsuya, another a very good Japanese pitcher. 5 years, $28 million. He's a reliever, actually a closer. He had at least 30 saves like 5 or 6 times in his career in Japan. He's now in San Diego. I guess San Diego was pretty much saying we're not going to be able to re-sign Josh Hader, so we are replacing him with this guy. But apparently, he's very good. He's a very good closer in Japan, so we'll see if that carries over. Mitch Garver to Seattle, 2 years, $24 million last couple years in Texas. He's played well. I had a good year this year. He's got a lot of power. He goes to the Seattle Mariners. That's really all the free agent signings. The Mets made a trade, picking up starting pitcher Adrian Hauser and outfielder Tyrone Taylor from the Brewers for Coleman Crow. I think this was a good move. Crow, he's a pitcher. They got him from the Angels around in, I think, like the middle of June when they traded away Eduardo Escobar. He hasn't done a whole lot. He's probably not even going to pitch this year because he had Tommy John. Hauser is a pretty good back of the rotation starter, a little inconsistent. But he had like a 4.2 last year. Real injury prone, but he's got at least for 23 to 25 starts. Can be a decent 4th or 5th starter. I don't hate that move. He's definitely an option to be in the back of their rotation. And Tyrone Taylor is a guy who is a really good outfielder, can really good defender in the outfield, can play all 3 outfield positions. He's got a little bit of pop. He's got some power. Has some playoff experience as does Hauser. So considering what they gave out, I think that was a good move. Because now Taylor, in their outfield, also you'll have Brandon Nimmo in center. You have Marte coming back in right field. Left field still an open spot. I don't think DJ Stewart. I think he should be on the roster. I don't think he's an everyday player. So at least Taylor right now, even if he's only fighting for the 4th outfield spot with DJ Stewart, they gave up not a lot in this trade. So I thought it was a good move. And Max Scherzer he recently had surgery on his herniated disc in his back. He's going to be out to at least June, if not July. That's a bit of a hit for the Texas Rangers. And Dave Roberts said that once Ohtani's arm is healed, Ohtani may play some left field. So interesting. We'll see what happens there. All right. Some news out of the PGA Tour. They are nearing a $3 billion investment from a group called the Strategic Sports Group. It's made up by a bunch of owners in professional sports, mainly baseball. One of them is the Henrys, of course, led by John Henry, who's of course the owner of the Boston Red Sox. I think he also has a stake in the Pittsburgh Penguins. Arthur Blank is part of this group. He's the owner of the Atlanta Falcons. Rick Grusbeck is in this group. He's the owner of the Boston Celtics. Steve Cohen, owner of the Mets. Of course, he's obviously got the money. Mark Attanasio, who's the owner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Tom Ricketts, who's the owner of the Chicago Cubs, and then Mark Larzy, who was the co-owner of the Bucks. He just sold his stake, but he was the co-owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. All right, let's talk some game picks for NFL. It's Wednesday, so it's game picks day. Then I'm gonna recap the most recent Monday Night Raw from the 18th. Yeah, obviously, it's Friday Night's back from this past Friday, and this Monday was just showing all the cool moments of from the past year. The rest was had the week off for the most part, and then we'll be back at just Friday. So I'll talk about the most recent Raw, but that they actually had matches, not just showing all cool moments like it was this past Monday. But Thursday Night Football, Jets Browns. I'm taking the Browns. This is a bit of a revenge game for both quarterbacks. For Joe Flacco, of course, he was the Jets backup the last couple of years, and he actually called it at one point during the year. And he asked it, "Hey, could I join your team?" Obviously, they all on Rodgers. They were stuck on Zach Wilson, and the Jets passed on him. And the reason why Joe Douglas is freaking clueless. Not sure why he's coming back, but that's another story for another day. And of course, the Browns pick him off the couch, and he has been rolling over the last 4 games. So bit of a kind of like, oh, you should have signed me. Thanks for Joe Flacco. You know, I'm not really sure why I did, especially since Robert Sala loves Joe Flacco. And then for Trevor Siemian, the last time he played the Browns, he was actually also on the Jets. So this is actually his second step in the Jets. He's starting again with Zach Wilson once again out with a concussion. Trevor Siemian is starting again. Last time he played, it was in 2019. Myles Garrett sacked him and he broke his leg, ending his season. So could be a little bit of revenge on Trevor Siemian's mind, trying to you know uh obviously he broke his leg the last time he was there, trying to show the Browns he should have taken me out of that game. A lot of people Myles Garrett was a little dirty, but I'm taking the Browns. Joe Flacco is playing great, and that Browns defense is ferocious. Myles Garrett is going to kill Trevor Siemian. Hopefully his leg stays intact this time. But Myles Garrett will definitely have a sack or two in this game. The Browns defense is really, really good. I'm taking Cleveland. I have no confidence in the Jets. They're obviously done. On Saturday night, there is a game. Game will be on ABC as well as ESPN and then ESPN Plus. It's Lions Cowboys, so a really good game. Lions right now are 11-4. They're a 2 seed in the NFC right now, I believe. Either a 2 to 3. And yet against Dallas, right now it's the first wild card, 10-5. They're a game out of the division. Probably not going to win the division. The Eagles technically still have a tiebreaker, so Eagles would need to lose out. And they have 2 easy games coming up, and the Dallas will need to win out. This is a tough one. Detroit has shown the ability to has not shown the ability to handle top teams sometimes. They got blown up by the Ravens. Obviously, you had against the losing to the Packers on Thanksgiving. They're also the Bears, so I'm not sold on them as a true contender. But I am going to take them to win this game. I think Dallas is a complete fraud. I know that secondary for the Lions is not very good. But I will take the Lions actually in this one. Dallas favored by 6 points. I don't think they should be favored as much. I will take the Detroit Lions. Overall, Jared Goff's had a good year. Throw for over 1,300 yards, 27 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. I will take the Lions. Their run game between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs has been firing on all cylinders right now. I know that defense is a little suspect. Secondary's got some injuries, and it's not great. I'll take the Lions. I think Dallas is a complete fraud. Now to the Sunday games, 1 o'clock Patriots Bills. So last time these two teams played, Patriots pulled off a major upset, picking up a win. Patriots have actually won 2 straight games. They a couple upsets over Pittsburgh and Denver. Bills, have won 3 in a row, gotten to 9-6. I'm gonna take the Bills in this one. Look, Belichick he owns the Bills. He always has, whether he's had Tom Brady or not. Obviously, picked up a surprising win early on in the season. Billy Zappi has played well, so kudos to him, and that Patriots defense has been playing phenomenal. Well, I'm taking the Bills. They've been playing a lot better lately. They've won 3 in a row, beating the Kansas City Chiefs and then blowing out the Cowboys and then skating past the Chargers last week. The Chargers win obviously wasn't too convincing. But Josh Allen, the last few games, has played better. He's been much more careful with the ball. He's only got 1 turnout, 1 pick the last 4 games after he had like 14 or 15 in the previous, whatever it was, 12 games, whatever it was. So he's been playing better. I will take the Bills. I don't think they'll get swept by the Patriots, so that's really funny. The Falcons against the Bears. So Falcons, big win last week. Kind of kept them in the race in the NFC playoff picture and then their division, because their division is really, really bad. Bears actually somehow are hanging by a thread in the AFC playoff picture. I'm gonna take the Bears in this one. Justin Fields has played a lot better since coming back from the injury, considering he just doesn't have a lot of great weapons outside of DJ Moore. They really can't run the ball very well. The offensive line is terrible. The defense is terrible. Heineke played okay last week. I think he's the best quarterback they have. Desmond Ridder is freaking awful, but I'll take the Bear. I think just Justin Fields has been playing very well and is making it really difficult for the Bears, who are probably gonna have a number one pick, and we'll have two top five picks, or we'll have the number one pick, and then probably their second pick will probably be at least in the top 10, making it difficult to where should they take Caleb Williams or Drake May, or should they keep him? You have the Raiders and the Colts. I'll take the Colts. I know the Raiders have played well the last couple of weeks, obviously dropping 63 on the Chargers and then beating the Chiefs this past week. I think Antonio Pierce has made his case to be the full-time head coach next year. Colts going to have a tough loss to Atlanta. But I'll take the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, being back for another week, well, I think we'll have his footing under him a little more this week. I think he'll play a little better. Gardner Minshew may not be under as much pressure. He was sacked 6 times this past week against Atlanta. And the Raiders have Max Crosby, who is a dog. Outside of him, it's kind of a one-man show. So I'll take the Colts to win this one. Of course, they're still right there in the playoff. I think they're actually the last team in the AFC. You have Rams and Giants. I'll take the Rams. Giants announced they are starting Tyrod Taylor. He replaced Tommy DeVito in the second half last week. He played a lot better than DeVito, so they're going to Tyrod Taylor. But the Rams have been playing pretty well. Stafford's been playing well. That offense is really good. The Giants have a pretty good defense, but I'm gonna take the Rams in that one. Good luck, Tyrod Taylor, in front of that offensive line with Aaron Donald coming at you. Good luck. Cardinals, Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles. Look, Eagles are fraud. It's clear. They lost 3 in a row. They barely squeak past the freaking Giants with Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor as their quarterbacks. Got a little help from the referees as well. They're definitely frauds, but Arizona is absolutely terrible. Their defense isn't very good. They need another receiver. So they're not good. They're 3-12 for a reason. I'll take the Eagles in that one. Right, Saints Bucks in a big AFC South matchup. But Bucks are a game ahead of the Saints for now, and the Falcons in that division. Yeah, got off of the division. But I'm gonna take the Bucks. They've been playing well. Baker Mayfield's been playing really well. He's thrown for over 3,500 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 8 picks this year. He's quietly had a really good year. And the Saints, they've just been on a wild ride this year, as mediocre as it gets. I'm taking the Bucks. 49ers against the Commanders. I'm taking the Niners. They had a tough loss against the Ravens this past week. Brock Purdy really struggled through 4 picks, and he got hurt. I think he'll be fine. Either way, whether Tim or Sam Darnold, I'm picking the 49ers. The Commanders absolutely suck. Their defense is atrocious, the worst in all of football. They got 30 points to Trevor Siemian and the freaking Jets. You got 30 points to the worst ranked offense with their 4th-string quarterback in there. I don't know what else to say. They are freaking terrible. Their coach is gone. Obviously, one of their guys going at the end of the year. I'm taking the 49ers. They're still one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the league at worst, and will probably still get the 1 seed in their conference. All right, Panthers, Jaguars. I'm taking the Jags. Jags have been really struggling. They've lost 4 in a row. They're dropped to 8-7. Now all of a sudden that division is wide open because it's a 3-way tie between Jacksonville, Houston, and Indy. Jacksonville's still in first place for now. They're crumbling. The Trevor Lawrence shoulder. I'm not sure if he's going to start, but the Carolina Panthers are awful. They almost came back and beat the Packers. Bryce Young played really well this past week. He's looked better the last couple of games. But Jacksonville's got a much better defense than the Green Bay Packers, so I'll take the Jaguars, regardless of who starts a quarterback. All right, Dolphins, Ravens in a big game. This will probably decide who gets the 1 seed in the AFC. The Ravens already clinched the playoff. If they win, they'll clinch the North. If they win, they'll officially clinch their division because they get Cleveland in the season finale. And they might actually get the 1 seed, I believe. They'll clinch the 1 seed if they win that game as well. But if Miami wins, then the Dolphins need a win, while Ravens lost to Cleveland in the last game to get the 1 seed. And I believe if Miami wins, they also would clinch their division in the AFC East and not have to go into a game against a tough Bills team where they need to win, otherwise they would drop into the wild card. But I'm gonna take the Ravens. Should definitely be the favorites of the AFC. Are probably the Super Bowl favorites after beating the 49ers by 2 touchdowns this past week. Yeah, of course, on the football. So I'm gonna take the Ravens. The Dolphins. They have struggled against top competition all year. Only team they beat was the Dallas Cowboys this past week. So I'll take the Ravens. They're just rolling. Lamar Jackson. I think the MVP is McCaffrey, but it's either him or McCaffrey. He's been playing absolutely phenomenal. They can run the ball better than anybody. To me, they have the best defense in the NFL. Really deep, really good. So I will take the Ravens. Excuse me, I'll take the Ravens. Titans, Texans. I'm gonna take the Houston Texans. I think CJ Stroud is gonna play in this one. The only guy they'll have out is Tank Dell, their top receiver, still hurt, but still Nico Collins, who's played well this year. He came back this past week. The defense isn't great. They're very young. The Titans absolutely sucked. The offense is horrible. I don't know who the quarterback is. It's going to be Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill, who absolutely sucks. So I'll take the Houston Texans. All right, 405. We Steelers and Seahawks. Steelers right there in the playoff picture on the outside looking in. They were able to stay alive last week, beating the Bengals. Seattle right now is the second wild card in the NFC. I'm going to take Seattle. Still not sold on the Pittsburgh offense. I know they look better with Mason Rudolph this past week, and he's starting yet again. But I think Seattle is a better team. They got a lot of weapons offensively. Pittsburgh, whose defense played great this past week, they also were playing a backup quarterback. Coming into the game, they were struggling, so still not sold. I'm going to take Seattle. The 425 games will be first one is Chargers Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos. They've been struggling a lot lately. They're not very good. They're not going to make the playoff. They're a game out right now. But Chargers, they just suck. Obviously already fired their coach. They're a mess. I'll take Denver on that one. Also, Bengals Chiefs. So this is an interesting one. You have the Chiefs who have been really struggling lately. Obviously, their receiving core has had a lot of drop issues all year. Their offensive line is struggling. Even Mahomes is struggling a bit. They had the Bengals, who were 8-7, coming off a really tough loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jake Browning threw 3 picks. He had been playing really well, but he struggled last week. I'm going to take the Chiefs, though. I'm not sure if Jake Browning's little Cinderella run might be over. We've had a lot of backup quarterbacks who have come in, have like little Cinderella runs, and they just ended. Josh Dobbs, Tommy DeVito. And maybe now it's, Jake Browning's turn to have his Cinderella run ended. But Chiefs have a good defense. They've played well all season. Actually been their offense, which is surprisingly has struggled. But I'll take the Chiefs. I think they pick up a win here. And with that, and if they win, they will clinch the AFC West. And then Sunday Night Football, no game on Monday this week. Sunday Night Football is Packers-Vikings. Big game in the NFC North. Both teams are just a game out of the last spot in the NFC. I'm going to take, it's a tough one. Both teams have been struggling. The Packers lost a couple in a row, and they barely squeaked past the league's worst Carolina Panthers. Nick Mullins throwing 7 interceptions in 2 starts. I'll take the Packers. Jordan Love recently has been playing a lot better. They got Aaron Jones back. He's looked as good as he has all year. He's finally healthy. He had a big game this past week. That Packers defense is horrible. I hope they fire Joe Barrett at the end of the year. Their defensive coordinator, he's clueless, no idea what he's doing. But Nick Mullins, he's been a turnover machine. He always has been. I think he has a couple more turnovers this week. Vikings can't really run the ball either. Might not have Jordan Addison, your second best wide receiver. I will take the Packers. All right, and to close out, let's talk about some wrestling. So Monday Raw from last week. This week, like I said, it was just like the best moments of 2023 because it was on Christmas, so the wrestlers didn't actually have anything. So started off, the Judgment Day comes out, and then R-Truth comes out. R-Truth thinks he's in the Judgment Day, and then him and JD McDonough start going at it. And he's like, all right, let's have a match. Let's have a loser leaves Judgment Day. They're all laughing, and then Rhea Ripley's like, no, 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 and then Priest is like, wait a minute, and Rhea's like, Priest, like, what are you doing? And Priest's like, he goes, it's a good idea. It's like, Jamie is not gonna win. It'll be funny. So Rhea's like, all right, and they had a Miracle on 34th Street fight. R-Truth was trying to find out where the street was, and then JD had to tell him, no, it's in this ring. That's just what it's called. And then R-Truth won the match. And when he was on the top rope, Jay McDonald was trying to like him with a super flex, but then R-Truth basically fell over on him and put him through a table and ended up pinning him for the 3 count. So then, like, backstage, Dame was like, you lost, and Rhea Ripley interjected, and then Dame was like, all right, your Alpha is still in the Judgment Day. He goes, for now, so a little tension going on in the Judgment Day. So what happens on next week's Raw, if R-Truth will try to make his case why he should be in the Judgment Day. He had The Miz against Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, and Gunther won. That was a very good match. You got in the Women's Tag Team Championships, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven against Caden Carter and Katana Chance. And Caden Carter and Katana Chance won, so they are the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Match was kind of okay, I thought. You had Ivar against Akira Tozawa. Wasn't much of anything. Ivar won, obviously. You had Ludwig Kaiser against Jey Uso. That was an easy win for Jey Uso. You had the Judgment Day against the Creed for the tag titles, and the Judgment Day picked up a win. The match was a little quick. Look of it a little longer, but it was very entertaining. It was a very good match. And those Creed brothers, they are really athletic. Oh my god. So that was Monday Night Raw. That's all I got for you guys today. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.